Plot. In a small coastal town, a young woman named Emily discovers an old journal in her attic. The journal belongs to a mysterious man named Gabriel who vanished 50 years ago. As Emily reads the journal, she finds herself drawn to Gabriel's story and uncovers secrets that connect her to his fate. When strange occurrences begin to happen in the town, Emily realizes that Gabriel's disappearance is linked to a curse that she must break, or risk becoming the next victim. Whispers in the Mist. The coastal town of Seacliff was known for its foggy mornings and the sound of waves crashing against the rocky shore. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, and the past lingered like a ghost in the mist. Emily Hart had lived in Seacliff all her life, in a charming old house that had been in her family for generations. One chilly autumn afternoon, as she was sorting through the attic, she stumbled upon an old, leather-bound journal hidden in a dusty chest. Curiosity piqued, Emily sat down amidst the cobwebs and cracked open the journal. The pages were yellowed with age, and the handwriting was elegant and flowing. The first entry was dated October 1st, 1974, and it began with the words, "To whoever finds this, my name is Gabriel Stone, and this is my story." Emily felt a strange connection to those words, as if they were meant for her. She began to read, and Gabriel's tale unfolded like a tapestry of romance and mystery. He had been a traveler, drawn to Seacliff by its beauty and the promise of adventure. But he had also come seeking something else, an answer to a question that had haunted him for years. As Emily read on, she learned that Gabriel had fallen in love with a local woman named Isabella. Their romance was passionate and intense, but it was also shrouded in secrecy. Isabella was the daughter of a wealthy and influential family, and their relationship was forbidden. They met in secret, under the cover of darkness, their love blossoming in the shadows. But there was more to Gabriel's story than a forbidden romance. He had discovered something strange about Seacliff, something that had been hidden for centuries. The town was cursed, and the curse was tied to the mist that rolled in from the sea. According to legend, the mist was the breath of an ancient spirit, a guardian of the town who had been betrayed and imprisoned by the ancestors of Seacliff's residents. Gabriel had vowed to uncover the truth and break the curse, but as Emily read further, she realized that he had vanished before he could complete his quest. The journal ended abruptly, with Gabriel's final entry dated October 31st, 1974. He wrote about a strange feeling of being watched, a sense of impending doom, and then the entries ceased. Emily's heart raced as she closed the journal. The sun had set, and the attic was now bathed in the eerie glow of the moonlight filtering through a small window. She felt a chill run down her spine, but it wasn't just from the cold. Gabriel's story had awakened something within her, a desire to uncover the truth and finish what he had started. Over the next few days, Emily found herself unable to think about anything else. She spent hours at the local library, researching the history of Seacliff and its legends. She spoke to the town's elders, who whispered about the curse and the strange disappearances that had plagued the town for centuries. They warned her to leave well enough alone, but Emily was determined. One evening, as she was walking along the misty shore, she felt a presence beside her. She turned and saw a figure emerging from the fog. It was a man, his features obscured by the mist, but his eyes were piercing and familiar. Emily's heart skipped a beat. It was Gabriel. "Emily," he whispered, his voice like a soft breeze. You found my journal." She nodded, unable to speak. He reached out and took her hand, his touch cold but comforting. "The curse," he said, his voice filled with urgency. "It's real. And it's tied to you now. You must break it." "How?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. Gabriel looked out at the sea, the waves crashing against the rocks. "The spirit of the mist," he said. "It needs to be set free. Find the old lighthouse. There, you will find the answers you seek." With that, he vanished into the fog, leaving Emily standing alone on the shore. She knew what she had to do. The next day, she set out for the old lighthouse, a forgotten relic perched on the edge of a cliff. The path was treacherous, and the mist was thick, but Emily pressed on. As she reached the lighthouse, she felt a sense of déjà vu, as if she had been there before. She pushed open the heavy door and stepped inside. The interior was dark and musty, filled with the echoes of the past. Emily climbed the winding staircase to the top, where a large, rusted lantern stood. As she approached, she saw an inscription on the base, "To free the spirit, light the way." She took a deep breath and struck a match, lighting the lantern. The flame flickered to life, casting a warm glow that cut through the mist. Suddenly, the air around her began to swirl, and she heard a low, mournful wail. The spirit of the mist had been awakened. "Who dares to disturb my rest?" a voice echoed through the lighthouse. "I do," Emily said, her voice steady. "I seek to free you." The spirit materialized before her, a shimmering figure of a woman with eyes like the sea. "For centuries, I have been bound to this place, betrayed by those I trusted." "Why should I trust you?" "Because I know the truth," Emily said. "And because I want to end this curse, for you and for Gabriel." At the mention of Gabriel's name, the spirit's expression softened. "Gabriel. He was the only one who tried to help me. But he failed." "He didn't fail," Emily said. "He brought me here. Together, we can break the curse." The spirit seemed to consider this. "Very well," she said. "But you must prove your worth. There is a hidden chamber beneath this lighthouse. In it, you will find the source of my imprisonment. Destroy it, and I will be free." Emily nodded and descended the staircase once more. She searched the base of the lighthouse until she found a hidden trapdoor. Prying it open, she descended into the darkness below. The chamber was damp and cold, filled with the stench of decay. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, upon which lay a tarnished silver locket. Emily approached it cautiously, her heart pounding. As she reached out to touch the locket, she felt a surge of energy, and the room began to shake. "Destroy it," the spirit's voice urged. Emily grasped the locket and, with all her strength, hurled it against the stone wall. It shattered into pieces, and a blinding light filled the chamber. The ground beneath her feet trembled, and she felt herself being lifted into the air. When the light faded, she found herself back at the top of the lighthouse. The mist had cleared, and the sky was a brilliant blue. The spirit stood before her, no longer a ghost, but a radiant figure of light. "Thank you," the spirit said. "You have freed me." As the spirit began to fade, Emily felt a sense of peace wash over her. Gabriel appeared beside her, his smile warm and reassuring. "You did it," he said. "The curse is broken." Emily reached out to touch his hand, but he began to fade as well. "Will I see you again?" she asked, her voice filled with longing. "Perhaps," Gabriel said, his form shimmering like the mist. "In another time, another place. But for now, live your life, Emily. The curse is broken, and Seacliff is free." With that, he vanished, leaving Emily standing alone in the lighthouse. She felt a tear slip down her cheek, but it was a tear of joy. She had done it. She had broken the curse and set the spirit free. As she made her way back to town, she felt a sense of renewal. The fog had lifted, and the town was bathed in sunlight. The people of Seacliff greeted her with smiles, unaware of the danger that had been averted. Emily returned to her home and placed Gabriel's journal on a shelf, a reminder of the journey she had undertaken. She knew that life would go on, but she also knew that she would never forget Gabriel and the adventure that had changed her life forever. The mist had whispered its secrets, and she had listened. Now, she was ready to face whatever the future held, with a heart full of hope and a spirit unburdened by the past.